What was the biggest thing that the tape showed that maybe you didn't see the first time on Saturday?
I think we had a pretty good beat on it during the game. I don't think there was a lot of surprises. A ton of positives, ton to get better at. The positives I think are pretty obvious on all sides. I think the areas we got to get better. There's too many mental mistakes. That first and foremost, and whether it's lack of focus or a lack of just complete trust in what we're doing. That's got to grow. And the reality is, like, I've had players that have been in our systems for multiple years, and it's still not 100% trust. It may get up to like a high 90, and that's good. But like, we got room to go there with every player here, because like you trust it, right? Spring ball's not too hard to do it. Yeah, you can see some of the results in the past, and you're excited about it, and fall camp and all that. But now all of a sudden, you get there on Saturdays, and you find out like how ironclad that trust is. And so. Sometimes lack of focus, sometimes lack of trust, but regardless of what it is, we got to get it fixed.
Saw Romello in a sling today. What's the update on that?
Yeah, we'll evaluate him. He's had a tough shoulder. We're gonna give him a little bit of downtime here early in the week, and then reevaluate. Just been kind of a lingering shoulder issue that he's had a couple of events, both on the practice field and the game field, that have kind of made it tough to get any momentum in terms of recovery. So we're going to try to let that thing calm down a little bit over the next few days and reevaluate. And then obviously we'll have some guys step up on the edge in his absence.
How did Solomon earn those extra reps out there in this last game?
He did a good job early in camp. He missed a little bit of time in the middle of camp with not a serious, but an injury that held him out for a little bit. And he's kind of been catching back up. And it's like several guys on our roster. Like, he's been doing some good things in practice. He's kind of been coming back along, catching up. The other guys during that time when he was out had obviously passed him up, like anybody's going to do when they're injured. And it's like you just kind of waiting and getting ready for your opportunity. And he's been working, and it's funny, I told him at the hotel that morning, I've said no idea it was going to happen, but just I don't know, you got to always be ready. You just never know when it is. And he was ready. He got in there, got reps, played aggressive, got after the passer, played fast, and it was obviously important for us that he stepped up, and he did.
Speaking of that trust, you were just talking about how big is it to have that with a guy like Caleb, and you feel like that usually takes about a year to do that with a quarterback, given how important he is in your offense? Yeah,
it's better. It's not, even with him and all the reps we've had together, it's not 100% yet. I mean, that's not, and it's hard to get to that point. Like that's something you got to really strive towards. But he and I both are trying to strive to get there. So I think the thing we keep seeing is it goes on both sides. Like, right, when our guys trust what we're doing and we don't make mental errors, we do some pretty good things here through 2 games. And when we don't, we don't. But then the flip side is, as coaches, like, we got to trust them too. It's a two-way street. And so, we're building our trust in them. They're building their trust in us. And again, we're just not going to, we've told the guys and staff from day one, we're not going to use this is year one crutch. This is all we got right now. And we got to make the best of it we possibly can. And we can definitely get a lot better there.
So that Cortland was unable to practice today after leaving the game early. Obviously, I know you talked about your confidence in Bobby, but is this kind of one of those situations where it's good to have used both of those left tackles? And
yeah.
What do you think in terms of Cortland's status?
Yeah, no, I mean, it is. You're glad you played some guys. We're going to rest him here early in the week, and probably similar to Romello, and then make a decision. He's progressed nicely since the game, so I think he's on a good track. But yeah, I mean, this is why you rep some of those guys, because this is inevitably going to happen in a season. And if he's ready to go, that's great. And if not, obviously, Bobby's going to play some no matter what, and we got a ton of confidence if it's Bobby the whole way.
After the game,
for Fresno State, watching film?
Not many weaknesses. You know what I mean? Like, they're good everywhere, right? I mean, it's the quarterback's really good. They've got some other outstanding players. The safety, 32, is a tremendous player. A couple D linemen that really stand out, but they, more than maybe just the standout individual guys, it's, you don't look at one part of their team and like, all right, the line's not very good, or the DBs are not very good. Like, they're good everywhere. They're very experienced. They know how to win. have obviously got a staff there of guys that are extremely experienced and know how to get it done at this level. So I think they're always some of the toughest teams because you just don't identify a ton of weaknesses on tape, and you got to be on your game.
You guys got off to such a hot start offensively in the first half, 5 possessions, 5 touchdowns. Following the game, Travis Dye said maybe you guys got a little complacent, the foot off the gas. What are your thoughts when you hear that after game 2?
Yeah, no, I think it's very possible. I thought at times when we tried to, at times we intentionally slowed it down a little bit, but slow it down doesn't mean you don't execute. Like you can call a play and snap it with 30 seconds left or snap it with 5 seconds left. You still got to execute. And the reality is when we slowed it down, our execution went down. Especially the more it's disappointing to me were, the third down penalties, which good offenses don't do. We had 2 conversions just completely wiped out. That's 2 drives right there. And then we had 2 busts in blitz pickup and just gave free runners on plays that should have been huge plays. And so, we did things in the second half that bad offenses do. And when you do that against good football teams, you're not going to play the way you want to. So, again, whether it's complacency, lack of focus, lack of trust, whatever it is, it's got to get better.
The defense was on the field for a lot of plays in the first half on Saturday. Was slowing it down kind of with that in mind?
I think you're always, as a head coach, just have an overall feel. I mean, is that part of it? Yes. Is that all of it? No. I mean, I think we'd separated a little bit, and we were running the football well, and we felt like we still wanted to execute, but we felt like the situation called for, hey, let's not just be dumb here about not using some time. So, but we got to be able to execute those situations. We're going to need to do that to be able to win games. And it's not necessarily 4-minute mode, but you've got to be able to operate at different paces. And when we slowed down some of the second half, we obviously did not operate the way we expected.
Let's do one more.
Stanford tested Mekhi a lot. What did you think about how he held up?
He was awesome. He was awesome. I mean, he gave up one glance ball that came out of technique a little bit. Other than that, it was PBUs, interceptions, competitive plays. I thought I think he had the one interference call, which was, textbook coverage. I hope he covers like that every single play this year. And even a couple that were caught on him were extremely competitive plays. So we like him matched up against anybody. The way he's playing and competing, the guys he goes against here in practice are good players, and it's a battle every single day. So that's a one-on-one matchup that we're very, very comfortable with.
Thank you, Coach Riley.